and that is that for ChatGPT prompts, have you heard of something called extensions on a browser?
Yes.
Yeah. So in Chrome, which is, I mean, it might be on other browsers as well, you can install something called AIPRM for ChatGPT. And there's
What's
another
AI?
AIP, I don't know what it stands for, AIPRM for ChatGPT. And you literally just go and create, I think you download the extension that it installs on your browser. And I think you need to just create an account, free account. And what that does is it gives you loads of prompts that people have used previously. Oh, bless you, Dawn. I didn't hear that, but I saw you sneeze. And there's another one as well called Voila, VOA, which is another extension that's free. And again, slightly different interface. But what it does is it gives you, when you create a new chat, tell you what, mind you, I was struggling to get ChatGPT working today. So let me just share my screen. Can you see that okay?
Yeah.
So I click new chat. Oh no, oh, there we go. So this, it looks complicated, so don't panic. But these are all prompts that have been done by other people, and then they've been captured into this extension. So, I mean, the one that cracks me up is the one-click course creator or the one-click write a book. I mean, come on, really?
All of that to come up. Is that literally the extension that's brought all of those things up on screen?
Yeah, but look, showing 21 of 4 to 40 of 3,805 prompts.
Wow.
So I think you can only have 20 on a page at once. So it's pretty insane. Yeah. But it's worth having a play around. So there's a really good one that was around 30 social media posts and image suggestions with one click. So you'd select that, and then in here it gives you a prompt: business name, business type. Example, Joe's Pizza is a pizza shop. So 30 social media posts. So I would probably just say, okay, if I put engaging content, SEO and websites or something like that. Let's try that. This is when it says to me, this is when it says computer say no. Because it's been, there we go. It's never done this before. Let's do. There we go. Slower than normal. So it's even given hashtags. Isn't that cool?
Wow. Yeah, I definitely need to download that extension.
Yeah, it just, yeah, it's brilliant. And then, yeah, that's going to take a while to chunder away. But particularly for social media, it really speeds things up. And, you know, I don't know if anybody's like me, I can kind of go down a rabbit hole of social media and want it to be absolutely perfect, but it really doesn't need to be. So, or even if you were going to do a reel on something, and you've got your phone there and you've got your notes there, you know, it's just a really quick way to get something. It's a good starting point, I think, is what I would say. For some reason, this is much slower than normal, but that's fine. Yeah. So anyway, that was just a sort of side mention. We'll come back to that in a bit. So if I stop sharing, So any questions on ChatGPT? Yes, Dawn.
So do you think, because it's new software and lots of people are getting on, as the numbers on ChatGPT increase, at some point, like Zoom, they will say, right, you need to pay now for this service, and the free service that we're currently using will probably get slower and slower, or maybe reduce functionality. So you're going to have to pay for the little extra bits over time. And therefore, because that's what software, people do, they put it out there to get lots of people in. And then in time, they say, oh, right, good, we've got lots of business. Now let's convert these into paying monthly subscribers. Do you think it's worth paying now? I think it's about £20 a month for ChatGPT to have your added functionality, but also be a member such that when this happens, the grandfather clause will allow you to get in for a cheaper rate.
I don't know, I'll be honest. Really don't know. It's
you know what I'm
early
talking
day.
about, yeah?
Yeah, I do. The thing about this is this version, the free version, only goes the data that is collected, if you like. This isn't based on search engine content. This is based on white papers and verified content. So I think it's up to 2019, and that's that. So it's not any more up to date than that.
Oh.
The new version is much more up to date, is my understanding, and that's what you're paying for.
Yes.
But what I think's really, really interesting is that a lot of the apps, like the SEO tool that I use in my program with my members, it has an AI feature already to help you map out blogs. But since ChatGPT's come along, they've integrated it into the platform as well. So that's what I think we'll see a lot more of, is apps and websites and things kind of pulling the AI in so that you don't have to go to the ChatGPT separately. But I don't know, on the one hand, it's a bit freaky to think, the possibilities, but then on the other hand, I agree, we'd be mad not to get, using it and using it to our advantage, because it is an assistant.
Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So so today I thought I would talk about pages. Last week I was talking about website content and what pages you would need to have as a minimum as a service business, the kind of pages you'd have on a website. And then I wanted to kind of go a little bit deeper this week on when I talk about, say, a service page or a landing page, which I think probably all of you are quite familiar with. And that is that what we're trying to do with our content is we're trying to position it in such a way that we are answering questions, or we are attracting the right type of prospects to our website. So the keywords that they're typing into Google, we've done our research, and therefore that's going to, ideally, if we're ranking on page 1, bring them to our website. And then once they're on our website, we want them to take some kind of action. Now, depending on what you're promoting might depend on how you would do that. So at a basic level, if I say that a service page isn't necessarily a landing page, so a service page is giving more detailed information about your service. There's going to be an element of education in that, and it's going to be you're hoping for them to take another step, but it might be a bit more general around a service, whereas a landing page might be standalone, it might be hidden. So if you were running a promotion or you were launching something and you want to keep the integrity of your website intact, because if say you were running a promotion or something and it was a landing page that was for a very, very specific customer type, then it might confuse anybody else coming on. So there is an argument that having it as a separate landing page where you wouldn't necessarily have what a landing page is to really funnel them in to one call to action, because you've got a specific marketing goal in mind. So as I say, generating leads, promoting your service, and you're trying to reduce distraction. You're trying to only give them one call to action. Even if you repeat that call to action, you don't need all the other buttons, the footer and the header, because you just want them to take one action. So that's sort of really the difference. And yeah, and the benefit of having, you kind of need both, but the benefit of having more general service pages is that you can then start ranking for more keywords. So, for example, I've been working with a fundraising consultant, and there's quite a bit of crossover really on the service pages, but it's good. I've done fundraising audit, fundraising strategy, and charity bid writing. So they were 3 kind of services. To be honest, they're probably all one offer, but it not necessarily, there's probably quite a bit of crossover, but having them separate gives you those sort of 3 opportunities to optimize the pages. Does that make sense? Yeah. And then it, you know, it's like sort of with a say you had a digital product that was kind of evergreen, that just trying to think off the top of my head, like so for example, I created one, sort of a client had asked me for some help with formatting a blog post, so I just created a blog template that you could plug into your Divi WordPress website, and it would format it, and then you could apply that to all your blogs. And that now essentially is a digital product. So that kind of thing could be on my website as an evergreen offer, and if somebody else came along and thought, yeah, actually I'd like that, so that then probably would be a page you'd want visible. It's not a service page, it's more of product, I guess, or a resource or something like that. So that then would require, yeah, it might be a bit of a hybrid is what I'm trying to say, because they might discover it from the navigation rather than it being a particular promotion. That makes sense? Dawn, you're looking perplexed. Yeah. I thought Jess was about to ask me a question. No. Okay. So landing pages.
Sorry, I was just apologising for looking distracted. I had a phone call come through on my computer. That's what that was.
Oh, right. Okay, no problem. So yeah, so just sticking with the landing pages. This is from ChatGPT, and I agree with everything, but I'll just put my kind of spin on it and how I would explain it. So landing pages are considered effective for several reasons. Focus. Landing pages have a specific and focused purpose. By eliminating distractions and presenting only relevant information, they can guide your visitors towards a desired action, such as making a purchase, signing up for a newsletter, or filling out a form. So it's a funnel, like that. Our website is a funnel. We're trying to signpost people to things in our content. So a landing page is definitely doing that. They're also good for conversion optimization. So what I mean by that is I talk a lot about traffic is one thing, conversion is another. So take, for example, Jess, we were having a chat yesterday. Jess's website is now super visible in the local search and on page 1 of Google for keywords like funeral celebrant, wedding celebrant, and I think that was, so civil celebrant in Brighton or something like that. So that's brilliant because she wasn't anywhere in the rankings, but now the focus needs to be on getting the conversions and looking at the data to go, okay, so what we want them to take that step. So it's very different from driving traffic. It's now getting them to take that next step. So that's what conversion optimization stands for. And we were talking about maybe introducing kind of a lead magnet or something as a free giveaway. In fact, actually, I shared Dawn's, Jess, you know, I shared that lead magnet yesterday. That was Dawn's with the from floppy to firm. Let me put it in the chat.
I love the name of it, Dawn. It's hilarious.
Brilliant, isn't it? There we go. So that's Dawn's lead magnet, which again is kind of a landing page. You could have that without any navigation, actually, if you wanted to have complete no distraction. But the idea being that Dawn wants you to download her from floppy to firm 5 toning exercises for feeling fabulous after 50. Oh, glad I put my teeth in. But that then that's when the convert, you're giving some free value away in return for their email address. So that's sort of what we've been exploring for Jess. What else? Tracking and analytics. So with Google Analytics 4 now, and I must do a session on this, it's going to be better because you can actually track more actions. So rather than the old analytics was you'd go into the shop and you would have data on the fact you've entered the shop and you've been in there a certain amount of time and then you've left, maybe dwelling in a certain part of the shop. But with GA4, it's going to be very much, picked up a piece of clothing and tried it on and then bought it, that kind of thing. So that kind of funnel, then you can start to see their journey and then you see where they drop off. And that's the bit that you might have to fix that leak in the funnel. So yeah, the analytics really do then help you kind of gather insight into the journey and then how to then improve it. And it might just be a tiny little thing. It might be the color of the button or the label in the button, or this is the problem. There's so many things that could influence somebody to want to take that next step. So it is a bit of a trial and error learning curve. The other benefit of landing pages is very much around personalizing them to specific audiences. So Ali went to the cheese show very recently. And, if Ali had wanted to have taken one of her service pages, cloned it, and then maybe tightened up the messaging more for a specific customer type, like somebody interested in cheese or cheese businesses that are looking to get to be promoted, then it's a very fast way of being able to do exactly that. So you'd create it as a landing page that's hidden that you would give people the link to so that they could go and look at it. So being able to personalize and make it more relevant to a certain type of audience is another really powerful way of, without having to rethink the whole messaging. Another benefit is that you can A/B test. So I don't know if you've heard that term, but A/B testing means that you might create a couple of versions of the same page, and you might change some of the headlines and positioning of images or button text or whatever. And then if you sent that out to your mailing list, you could actually, or even not sending it to your mailing list, even if you're giving the link out, you could see which one was more effective. So that's getting a bit more techie, but that is definitely something. You can do that with emails, actually. You can do that in MailerLite, where you can have multiple, we can have a different version of the same email, and then you see which headline was better or which, So that's always worth testing. And yeah, the other benefit is that they can be set up very quickly. You know, as I said before, it's, you could have an idea on a whim and go, well, I'm going to try it. You know, Jess did a lovely new offer recently around listening services. And if you wanted to maybe take that and make it a cloned landing page more for people that have experienced loss and tailor it more to that, that would be very quick to set up because of the nature of it all being in there.
I have a question. I tried to clone a page or duplicate a page and I went disastrously wrong. So I think maybe that I duplicated the home page or something weird happened and it meant that my about page went funny or it was awful. So I'm really nervous about duplicating pages. I think I just must have done some weird thing. Maybe is all you have to do is click duplicate, surely.
Also, Jets is on a different theme to Ali and Dawn and me. I know there's a plugin that you can have, a free plugin that allows you to duplicate a post or a page. I don't know in your theme, so it probably would have to ask Giles, wouldn't you, your web guy? But it should be as quick as, if you use the plugin, it should be just as quick as duplicate.
Like you would have Canva or something like that.
Yeah, I can't understand why it would mess other stuff up. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, landing pages are really and service pages are really worthwhile pieces of content on your website. And that's pretty much all I was going to share today. So I'd be happy to take more questions and chat further. Yes, Dawn.
I don't have a question. I have a request, please. So you have talked about perhaps having a paid subscription to your services that we can come in and talk to you and ask questions about. Could you do a session on what that would be, your product for that?
Yeah.
And don't just, I mean, I need to know, but I'm sure everybody else needs to know. So I'm asking you to give us an unadulterated pitch for your services, please. And the second one being this SEO software program that we pay a monthly subscription for. Can you tell us what that's going to do, what we therefore don't have to do?
Yeah.
And yeah, do a session on that, please.
Yeah, I mean, I can talk about it now, if you want me to, or I can, you know, I'm more than happy.
Yeah, that's fine. No, because you probably got X amount of time today. Just do a whole session on it for us, pretty please.
Well, yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, I can do that. Not a problem at all.
Thank you.
Yes, I shall prep that. I mean, I've tried to keep things really simple because I know how to overcomplicate things. I'm the queen of overcomplicating things. So what's really good now is I have my main program, which actually Jess and Sarah are in. And then if you've worked with me previously, like Ali and Dawn have, then I have kind of what I call an alumni. So you would then come in if you were interested in the tool and so forth. But I probably need to do a proper session on the tool because that is really, I think doing a demo would be a really good way of explaining kind of how it works. And I've been using that at the forefront of the program, which
Right.
I've been getting some really good results and feedback from my members on. But what's great is that if you already have had your website migrated over to WordPress and Divi, I was thinking about doing a separate subscription, but I think that's too complicated. So if you already host with me and you already have your website with me, then you would just ask me questions in the weekly. We have at the moment 2 weekly sessions, and I would support you that way. So it's just simpler for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Not saying is it will also give you loads of homework. She's just a monster. She's an absolute monster. She looks so nice and she's just exhausting me. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've learned so much. It's unbelievable.
It's always a brain fry scenario.
Every time.
Yeah, but you say that, you then you get to this next level, and then you're like, oh, I'm really starting to get it now. And then there's something else that kind of goes, oh, right, okay, my brain hurts a bit.
Yeah, I think a
You
bit,
do, like,
and then I'm like, oh.
she lulls us into a false sense of security, doesn't she, Sarah? Oh, we've learned something. That was really great. And then she brings out this another tome of stuff to learn. It's
Yeah,
great.
I thought I'd got a good, I thought my website was in a good, starting to get into shape. And literally, thanks to Natalie and our conversations over the weekend, I now have to rewrite half of my blinking website. And I'm like, adding to my list.
Welcome to my world. It's really amazing though that it's so worth it. I know we're teasing you, Natalie, but it's
I
so
know you
worth
are.
it. It's
Yeah,
good.
it is a very big topic. And you do need to kind of be practicing with it, and that's why, you know, me doing it in this way means I can support more of you, but also it means I've got time to keep up to date with all the changes, because like with generative AI now and how that's going to affect SEO, I need to spend some decent time on that. I need to spend some decent time on GA4. And if I'm still continuing to take on project work, I just can't do it. So I'm getting very close to that point now where I'll be able to be just focused on doing that, which is going to be great.
And I do think the tool does make a massive difference, because it just brings it all together.
Yeah.
And it is quite a simple interface. Now, you know, Natalie knows I'm quite a geeky person. So I kind of like that kind of stuff, but a lot of people don't. But I think it's one of those things that anybody can use once Natalie's shown you how and what it does. Is definitely worthwhile.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Sarah. And actually, I had some feedback from another member who said she really liked it when I did the sessions where we would kind of work along with each other. So I might go, right, today we're going to do a blog. So let's go, I'll show you how I would work out what my next blog topic is. And I would literally, and she was doing it alongside me doing it. So then you kind of leave the session feeling like you've actually achieved something, rather than then having to go like make notes and then having to go away and action it. So there will be other actions, but I think that's some of the feedback I took, and I do think that that's everybody learns in a different way, but that does make sense to me, that it's much more practical. Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. Right, lovely to, I have to go now. Thank you so much for supporting us, Natalie. I would be so lost in the tech wilderness world without you. You're very welcome, Dawn. Great to see you, take care. Yes, so any other questions, any other?
Not for the moment. I know that there's stuff that you and I will be talking about a bit later, but yes, I think my brain is just trying to keep up with everything right now.
Yes, okay. Well, the session tomorrow in the programme will be around service pages and getting some more, like seeing if we can't very briefly map out another page together. So Sarah's putting her head in her hands. But we can do the keyword research, and we can do it together.
I think my keywords researched out after.
Yeah, it does it makes my brain hurt, because I'm doing it at the moment, because I've got project work on. I'm like going from one to the other, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, brain's exploding.
Yeah, my brain definitely feels like it's exploding. Right, yeah. I'm going to disappear. So thank you very much, and I'll speak to you in a bit.
Very welcome. Take care, Sarah, and thanks for coming.
I'll see if I can rearrange tomorrow, Natalie, but I'm not sure I'll be able to, but I'll see if I can.
Okay. All right. No problem. Hope to see you then, Jess. Take care. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Ali. As always, I feel so much more informed. I love how every day is a school day.